Welcome back to the channel, guys. And well, if you thought a Corvette couldn't get any more monstrous than that of the C806 or even of its proper C7 ZR1 on its own, which is properly monstrous, well, look no further, because here we have the all-new C8 ZR1, and boys, this is a complete whole nother realm on its own in terms of it being a proper first ever turbocharged Corvette in its own of its era. And on top of that, it takes the LT6, which is the proper 5.5 liter NA V8 of the C806, and it turns it up a notch because, of course, GM have plopped in two massive turbochargers that have upped its power to a proper whopping 1064 horsepower. Yes, guys, and that is the stock power that you're getting from a proper Corvette. Well, I mean, America have just properly turned around in terms of track thoroughbred weapons. I mean, last year with the Mustang GTD, and now with this, the all-new C8 ZR1. And this takes it up a notch, or well, multiple notches, because you get something called the ZTK package, which is basically the track package, as you guys can see, with massive dive planes, a complete proper front splitter, a massive wing, and on top of that, fine tuning to the engine, an aggressive complete damper system, as well as stiffer springs, and on top of that, a proper twin turbo V8, which makes 1064 horsepower, of course, power going right to the rear wheels, and on top of that, an 8000 RPM redline in a twin turbo V8. And get this, guys, there's no hybridization, there's no electrification, in the fact that most marquees, especially American ones, are slowly going towards the path of hybridizing or completely electrifying, especially your basic cars or sometimes even supers. GM have completely taken it the other way around, because they have said, F off to electrification, just screw all this electric BS and let's just put in the proper pure American muscle. And well, that's exactly what they have done, because this is literally the exact output that the AMG one puts out. And of course, that's complete F1 tech, that's a proper complete thoroughbred F1 trackbred hypercar on its own. But nevertheless, this is on par with the power of that, and this is definitely going to put multiple European supers to shame. I mean, especially with its power output and with the fact that it is not hybridized, it is pure ICE power all the way. And on top of that, 1122 Newton meters of torque going right to the rear wheels, a stupid amount of power, a stupid amount of torque, something that you would never expect from the likes of a proper Corvette as stock. And well, GM have gone right ahead and done it, and of course you can get all of this for a price tag of just about $200,000. I mean, you are getting as much as a proper SF90 gives, and on top of that, this generates way more downforce than that of the SF90XX, where this generates about 1200 pounds of downforce, which translates to about 545 kilos, compared to just about 523 or around 520 kilos of downforce generated by the SF90XX. And that is the versione speciale of the SF90, and this is just a basic stock Corvette, of course. And well, I mean the numbers and the proper offerings speak for themselves, and the price difference on its own, and with the fact that you are getting pure internal combustion engine power in this compared to hybrid power of that. And this sounds obviously way more better. It's got more soul compared to that of the stupid, disgusting SF90. Although it may have the speed, and although it may have the complete quick torque and quick response, it does not have the soul like a proper American V8. And of course, sticking on, we've got the proper flow through radiator in the front, thereby eliminating the frunk. But of course, when you properly get the ZTK package or something of this caliber, i.e. a track weapon, you are properly foregoing the proper need for a so-called frunk. But nevertheless, you do get the proper trunk in the back, and of course you get this in the form of coupe or a spider. And of course, the coupe having the complete targa top, i.e. the removable hardtop which you can store in the back, and the spider having the electronically retractable roof, of course making that the heavier one, i.e. 1665 kilograms as drive for the coupe compared to 1705 of the spider. But nevertheless, my choice would of course be the lighter variant, i.e. the coupe with the ZTK package, and on top of that, that 5.5 liter twin turbo V8 nicknamed the LT7 that properly sings all the way up to 8000 RPM, and on top of that, a blistering top speed of over 215 miles an hour. And well, speaking of which, let's just take a listen to the all new bliss of the proper twin turbo V8.
Miles an hour. 160. 6th gear, 175. Just keeps pulling. This is about a 2.5 miles straight. 198, 199, 200. Woo! music. That is a fast car.
Well guys, although that may be a way more subtle sound compared to that of the C8 Z06, you are getting 2 turbos and 1064 all-American horsepower from that, but nevertheless a whopping top speed of over 215 miles an hour. And during the developmental phase at the Nürburgring Nordschleife, the C8 ZR1 clocked in at a top speed higher than that of its predecessor, i.e. the C7 ZR1, which clocked in at 212 miles an hour. This, with the wing, i.e. the complete high downforce package, is capable of over 215 miles an hour or over 346 kilometers an hour, and that is properly completely commendable and impressive on a whole another level, coming from the likes of a Corvette. And I mean, this is literally poised to completely slay European supers and properly put them to shame. And of course, carrying on, we've got a lot of different bits across the complete proper car, starting off with huge dive planes, i.e. bigger canards, a massive front splitter, and of course the complete flowway or go through complete radiator, thereby completely eliminating the proper need for a frunk. And especially with the likes that this is a proper track ready complete road going beast on its own, I mean, you're probably foregoing the need for a frunk. And on top of that, of course, you go through to the side, and through there you come through a proper triple vent system, not one, not two, but 3 different vents. And of course the conventional one, i.e. the one inside that Y carbon fiber piece, and another one which is connected or properly conjoined towards the end of that carbon fiber piece, and that cools the brakes. And you've got another one on top of the deck lid that cools the engine. And on top of that, coming to the engine, the proper C8 ZR1 welcomes back or properly throws it back to the good old split window from the C2 Corvette. And it doesn't just properly appeal to the eyes, but it's also functional in its very own way, because as you guys can see, it's got some central vents through the center to of course properly extract out engine heat, thereby giving it functionality and aesthetics. And of course, moving on, you've got your massive carbon fiber wing at the back, and the looks, and of course a proper quarter mile time of under 10 seconds for this. And of course, carrying on in terms of the options, you can either take your basic complete forged wheels, or you can go for the carbon fiber wheels, which of course are free to give you a better lap time, but of course not free because they will cost you about $15,000. And well, I mean, with carbon fiber wheels which are properly lighter, and with the fact that you are literally also getting the Michelin Pilot Sport Cup 2R tires, which are basically the road going slicks on its own for a car. I mean, if you are literally getting that for a complete carbon fiber wheel, which on its own is 18 kilograms lighter per wheel, and of course you can add on more carbon fiber bits. For example, the complete central console can be completely clad in carbon fiber, and of course on top of that, it being lighter, it being properly rigid, and it properly having the slick road going tires. I mean, there is literally nothing else to properly spend the 15,000 on. But nevertheless guys, I mean, it's got everything that you'd want in a proper track ready car. And on top of that, this is an American muscle proper super track ready on its own. I mean, how in the hell did GM even pull this off? And with the fact that they did not even completely comply with the norm of even hybridizing it, it's a complete internal combustion engine powered car, and that's exactly why this is properly a massive W on its own. I mean, you're properly getting the proper essence of a V8, and on top of that, this being the first turbocharged V8 to ever even go into a Corvette, thereby making it a first on its own. And on top of that, this being a proper track ready, I mean, it's not just it got just like a wing or something else on the back, it's got everything that you need to properly make it a proper track ready weapon. I mean, it's literally been developed on the goddamn Nürburgring Nordschleife. Need I say anything else? And well, with all the numbers, with the capabilities, the complete stiffer springs, the aggressive dampers in the ZTK package, the aggressive tune to the engine, thereby giving this the proper capability to take on any track in a monstrous way. And on top of that, when you go towards the interior, you are greeted of course with the square steering wheel similar to what you find in the LaFerrari, and of course your basic same console. But other than that, you get the carbon fiber central dashboard as the option of course to properly make it even more light, and you've got a rotary dial through which you can select your modes. You got weather, tour, sport, and track. And well, on top of that, the track is what I choose, especially with the ZTK package on for the coupe of course. And on top of that, a carbon fiber roof is there or properly present on the coupe as well as the Spider, properly light in the proper arrays that you'd want, although it may be 75 kilograms heavier than that of the C8 Z06. This is properly capable of taking on any track on this planet and properly beating out most of its European rivals. And with the fact that it literally makes more power, sounds better, has more soul than that of the proper disgusting SF90, although that may look better, this is what I choose all day every day. Well, I mean, just about $200,000 for one of these is literally a steal deal in its own. I mean, the proper capabilities and all the proper tech and all the stuff that you're getting. And on top of that, double wishbone suspension, of course, on all four corners. And on top of that, the proper special brake package that they properly designed for this, nicknamed the J58 package, with of course the proper high-tech carbon ceramics to of course properly slow this down in terms of it having 1064 horsepower, and on top of that, a whopping top speed of over 215 miles an hour, or just over 346 kmph. I mean, you'd need the proper high-tier brakes, and it's got the J58 package as that proper variant. And on top of that, the proper cues to the old gen C2 Corvette, the split window, the complete massive wing, the ZTK package being the proper ultimate package, of course, to properly take it to a whole other level. And I mean, the proper vents and I mean, it's literally got 3 vents behind the door on its own. And on top of that, the fact that they've completely eliminated the frunk to properly make way for even more aero and even more efficient driving on the track. And on top of that, the interior on its own with the multiple modes, the complete carbon fiber clad central dashboard, the complete square steering wheel, everything is literally what you would expect from a complete $500,000 car. Yet this is priced at just around $200,000, and I mean, that is literally a steal deal. I mean, what the hell do you need over 1000 horsepower pure internal combustion engine power all over, but nevertheless a proper whopper of a W Corvette on its own? I mean, pure American horsepower all over, rear wheel drive, 1064 horsepower. Need I just repeat everything else all over? I mean, a quarter mile time of sub 10 seconds, a top speed of over 215 miles an hour. I'm literally just repeating what all I said, but nevertheless, a massive hats off to GM Motors. And well, I mean, if this doesn't kick ass, I don't know what will. Well, what do you guys think? Comment below. And of course, thanks a lot for watching, guys. Remember to that sub button and click the bell to ensure you don't miss out on any future videos. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. See ya.